Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast where All In and Le'Veon Bell have nothing in common. It's Lost in the Midcard. We are here recording on September 5th. Lots to talk about. We are going to break down a tremendous night of pro wrestling called All In. So many great moments, so many great matches. Just overall, just was a tremendous evening, and we're going to break that all down for you here at the top of the show. We're also going to talk about night one of the Mae Young Classic and also some headlines and what's going on the road to Hell in a Cell. But first, thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes and any of your favorite podcasting apps. What you got to do is search for Lost in the Midcard, hit that subscribe button, and that way you know every time a new episode comes your way every Thursday and select Mondays after a WWE pay-per-view. You can also subscribe to us on the YouTube. And links to all that are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/lostinthemidcard. Go to the pinned post there, or you can go to our pinned tweet on the Twitter at LITMC Podcast. Not only are our subscription links there, but we also share a lot of the great tweets within the wrestling world, so give us a follow there. I am your host, Jeremy Bennett. You can find me on the Twitter at JBHuskers. As always, my co-host, he is on the Twitter at RawFShowtime. It is Mr. Matt Black. Matt, outside of Le'Veon Bell, how you doing?
I'm certainly not happy about Le'Veon Bell. But
neither is his offensive line.
Good, and they shouldn't be.
Oh.
I actually like the fact that they all spoke up like they did today, because it really shows what they all think of him. Other than football, from wrestling related, All In was awesome, and that put me in a good mood. And honestly, I can't wait to sit down and actually watch it again at some point in the next week. I will be watching that again, and I don't do that very much for a lot of wrestling shows, but I'm going to be watching this one again. Yeah,
it'll be definitely worthy to watch again. It'll live forever on Honor Club for us, thankfully. But also, I mean, you know the Bucks, they like the merch. You got to figure an All In DVD is coming soon.
I think it would be crazy. It would be crazy not to sell this on DVD or Blu-ray or whatever. So
we are fast approaching 200 episodes of Lost in the Midcard, which is hard to believe. January will mark our 4 years as doing this little podcast. I think for the first time we have a guest, a longtime friend of ours. I met at the same trip that I met Matt at for a WWE event back in the THQ days. He is on the Twitter at Extreme Gamer, Scott Burress. Scott was in attendance at All In. He's going to be here giving us his firsthand knowledge of the Sears Center event. Scott, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks for having me. And by the way, I am happy about Le'Veon Bell. The Browns play the Steelers this week. So
yeah, you can be happy about it all you want. James Conner's going to run the damn ball down your throat. So... Our running back we had last year.
Who?
You won't be saying who after Sunday's over. Let me put it that way.
I think one of
the offensive line's gonna have a point to make. James Conner's gonna have a field day on Sunday.
I think one of the dogs heard me say who from upstairs and started barking. I'm pissed because one of my big money leagues is a dynasty league that we have Bell in, and it's an auction league, so we got a salary cap. And we thought it would be brilliant to tie up over half our salary between Le'Veon Bell and Zeke Elliott. If they play, that's a brilliant strategy. But Jesus Christ, I don't. People are thinking, because you only have to play 6 games to be free agent eligible. So, hopefully he pulls his head out of his ass. But I don't think Scott, you have to really worry though. I mean, he's done for week 1, so. He's
not playing week 1.
At least there's light at the end of that tunnel. And
from my understanding, he's not even showing up till week 10.
Yeah.
So screw him.
Well, Dave Meltzer said this isn't possible. But after September 1st, Saturday, September 1st, we saw a jam-packed Sears Center with not a soul leaving the arena after the final match for a great 15 minutes of speeches, because everybody in the Sears Center was treated to just a tremendous wrestling event, a pay-per-view event, an event that we may never see again, or maybe we see it in November and December in LA or something. But if we don't ever see it again, this is truly a special night. Scott, first off, what was it like coming to the arena and standing outside the arena? Just what was it like out there?
Well, let me go back up further than that. When they had their original press conference back in May, and it was like tickets went on sale on a Sunday, like at 4:00 or something, and I'm like, I'll just hop on and get them and see if I can get tickets. I wasn't even planning on truly going. It was just like, I'm like, I followed the Elite for a long time, and I've loved what they've been doing, and I thought this was a cool idea. I thought it was a novel idea. I actually was on believing what Meltzer said. I didn't think it would ever sell out. I mean, I think maybe eventually they would have enough big names there or something. They'd do some stuff. It'd get people in or some comp tickets. And I remember grabbing my tickets and thinking, oh, that's cool. I got tickets. I actually bought them. I'm like, we'll see. I'll figure out when to go. And then to see like minutes later, it was sold out. My mind was swirling with this. So leading all up to this and getting there at the arena, we went in on Friday. I made the 6.5 hour drive in. And then to get there on Saturday, we parked a couple hours early. We saw the All Out event going on. It was like in the side of the parking lot. And we got there, and there was already a line forming. We were there about an hour and 15 before the doors were even going to open. And within 15, 20 minutes, there had to be at least 700-800 people in this one little small area. And they made us move up. And when they made us move up, I got to the steps, which was nice. And then after that, I would say by 4:15, 3:15. Sorry, I was still in Cleveland time at the time. 3:15-ish. It was like, I would say there's probably 2,000 people in line. And then a buzz started, and you hear all the people talking in line because the Young Bucks hid 500 hats in the arena. And they were the Cracker Barrel hats. So everyone started talking about that, and they had 12 doors open. When they finally let us in, the security thing took forever because Sears Center has no security like walkthrough. They had wands. So they're like, everyone's trying to get through this wanding system, and people are just running into the seats to try to find these hats.
Oh my.
So I figured they're all on the floor. I didn't think they'd be all throughout the arena. But I was there with my 10-year-old, and we walked to one of the sides, and no one had walked down this one section yet. So I sent him down, and he comes right back with 2 hats. He's like, they were just sitting there. I'm like,
good job,
awesome.
son. Good job,
That's
son.
awesome.
So the Chicago time, it was a start at 5:00 for the 0 hour.
Yeah.
And by 4:45, that place was 95% capacity in their seats.
Good.
And it wasn't like a WWE event where like everyone's wooing. I mean, there were woos going on, but there was a different buzz in the whole air. Like everything was just, I don't know. It's hard to explain it. Like it was almost like an emotional experience for me just to be there. I had a lot going on anyway, but just to be there and to see the stage and to see everything, like it was like real. Like I didn't expect them to have this realistic look of a ring, of a ramp, of a stage. I almost expected it to be very generic. I don't know why. I just didn't expect what I saw. I know Matt had retweeted. I ran in and took a picture right away of the stage. I know Matt retweeted it. And it just kind of blew my mind that they had like the Bullet Club logo up there and this a really cool logo, a really cool design. And then when 0 hour kicked off and they did the Elite song, when they came out to that, it was like pandemonium in that arena. I don't know how it came across on TV. I kind of watched it, but I've been drained, so I kind of watched a little bit of the WGN recording, and it did not capture as crazy as the crowd was, but it was just insanity. Like everyone was just going crazy, and no one got up. That entire event for 5+ hours, no one even got up. And when they spoke after the, I know I'm jumping way ahead, but you talked about how no one at the end of the event when people they spoke.
Yeah,
no one even got
Cody
up.
mentioned it. Yeah.
Yeah, no one moved. Everyone just sitting there. I've never seen it before. Like I've been at a bunch of WWE events. I've been at other events, and the main event ends, and everyone gets up and starts leaving. And there may be a dark match, but it's usually like, okay, it's going to be a throwaway. But everyone just sat there like expecting something else to happen, and it was magical. The whole thing was magical.
0 Hour started off on WGN, and I would say for a Saturday evening at 5 o'clock Central, pulling in about 180,000 viewers, probably made WGN America happy.
On a holiday weekend as well. I mean, that's...
Yeah.
Dude, they did 196,000. I mean, they almost got Impact numbers.
Yeah,
no, actually,
for a show that wasn't very heavily advertised.
They're getting Impact numbers today. I mean, Impact's barely making 200 nowadays, so
and that's you have to be commended for that because no one knew anyone on that card. From what you had a tag match with two teams barely anyone knows outside of the internet, and then you had a battle royal with the announced people. The biggest name was Billy Gunn at the time.
Yeah.
So that's incredible that they drew that many people watching it.
Just the fact that it's so weird, the talks between Sinclair and Tribune and WGN have kind of faltered. You kind of wonder maybe somebody starts to cave once they've seen those numbers. I don't know what the reasoning was behind the talks crumbling, but Matt, don't you think that could reignite the talks, the fact that they pulled 200,000 people in on a Saturday early evening?
Well, I mean, that was the falling out between Tribune and Sinclair had nothing to do with Ring of Honor. I mean, that kind of stuff is way above my pay grade to even begin to understand how, television corporate mergers work and all that. I know the long-term plan was when the Tribune merger went through, they wanted to eventually have a 2-hour weekly Ring of Honor slot on WGN America because it reached a national audience. But with that falling through, I don't know if that's going to happen now. But yeah, with the success of All In 0 Hour, there's always a chance that they could just work something out. Done because I mean ROH was on Destination America before, and Sinclair didn't own that, so I mean there's a chance that they could work something out. So yeah, I mean I guess only time will tell.
Yeah, and if the plan is for all those guys to re-sign and have a stake with Ring of Honor, I mean that probably is one of the business items for them to talk about in 2019 for sure. So All In 0 Hour kicked off with Being the Elite's theme song, crowd going nuts. Cody, Nick, and Matt appear on the stage. Cody welcomed everybody to the show, joked they only had 90 seconds to talk because they had commercial breaks. Matt said they should go ahead and just blow the budget because everybody wants to see pyro. They counted down, no pyro happened, but then, it's our first show. Hold on, we'll try it again. Then a little bit of pyro happened after that. They said, I
definitely think the pyro was supposed to happen the first time.
Oh, you think it was?
Oh, yeah.
Unintentional comedy, huh?
Because Cody got out of character. Because Cody was in... Because I was right next to that, and Cody was in character where he didn't want them to blow money.
Yeah.
And he got out of character for a minute, and then he got back into character when they were giving out the free merch. So, sorry, jumping ahead of you there.
Oh, no, you're cool. I wasn't going to merch... Well, I was going to talk a little bit about the merch, but Cody mentioned that it's a pay-per-view, so we got to have a legend appear, right? And of course, Chicago's own Road Warrior Animal comes out on a motorcycle. If you watch Being the Elite this week, apparently when he was practicing that, he kind of biffed it, but thankfully he was okay.
Almost injured his leg.
Yeah, Cody's like, did you get that on BTE?
They cut that out of me asking if you got that on BTE.
Oh Lord. So first match of the 0 Hour. Oh man, you know if you're bringing out SCU to kick off with this kind of crowd in Chicago, it's the right way to kick off a show because they love them some SCU, don't they, Matt?
Dude, SCU was over, man.
Over.
And look, I love how they came out with the Rocky gear based on the vignette, the training vignette that they did. I thought it was great. And I mean, I've seen these two teams work together before several times in Ring of Honor, but there was just something about tonight that everything just felt more special. If that makes sense.
And it seemed like it had a fresher thing because SCU is so over now. It just seemed to have a fresh look on it due to the fact that SCU's the baby faces now, Briscoes are the heels, and SCU got the win, and makes it obvious that they're going to challenge they'll be the next challengers for the Briscoes for the RH tag team titles. Scott, what did you think of the opening contest?
It was a very safe opening. It was a smart opening. If I was booking that show based on every match they had, it's the one I would have done on 0 Hour as well.
Yeah.
Because SCU is so over, and they were one of the most over all night.
I loved how Scorpio did this town.
Everyone did it with him, too.
Yeah, I loved it. I love seeing the people doing it with him and everything. I loved that he put that out there on the microphone. I'm glad they did that.
It was... Yeah, they were just behind all of the members of the Elite as being the most over the night, if not at the same level. I mean, it was the SCU chants were just deafening. I mean, they just totally over and totally safe match. They know how to work with each other. I know a lot of people were, when they saw the original card, were upset they're seeing some of these type of matches that they can see normally on Ring of Honor, like Matt said. But you got to have some matches that are safe and they know how to work well with each other to get people like myself. I've only seen the Briscoes and SCU on internet or, actually on the internet at any time. I've never actually seen them live in person. So for me, that was totally new for me. It's based just a few matches I've seen on YouTube or on Ring of Honor, earlier in the days. But it was fantastic. The match was great. The ending was fantastic. I love the power slam off the top. The catch power slam. It was a perfect opener.
Yeah, it was a really unique. It was a unique finish there with Briscoes going for their Doomsday device and Kaz turning it into the flux capacitor in midair. It was like a moment we didn't think was the pinfall, and it turned out to be the pinfall. It was kind of a unique way to end it. And as Matt said, with the fact this crowd, this atmosphere, and then on top of that, SCU being over. It definitely, though we've seen it in Ring of Honor with mainly the Addiction and the Briscoes, it felt fresh and it was really cool. Killer Open. Alicia Tout interviewed Kenny Omega backstage after the first match, talking about his challenge tonight against Pentagon Jr.
They totally made fun of WWE during that.
What's that?
That was completely a shot at WWE.
Yeah,
because they were making fun of standing on tippy toes and completely a shot at WWE.
Oh yeah, because the many heights. Have you ever seen the many heights of Mike Rome?
Yes, that's where they're going with that. That was completely because when they pan down and she's wearing flip flops and Kenny's like, she's like, "Why are you standing on your tiptoes?" "I'm working out my quads." It was perfect. It was funny. Nice little digs. I appreciate those.
Dalton Castle joins the announcers for the over-budget Battle Royal. Those announcers, Ian Riccaboni, Don Callis, and Excalibur. Matt, founder of PWG, is that right? One of the founders?
He's a commentator for PWG. I don't know if he's the founder or not.
And I see here, thanks to some notes from Mike Johnson, he making his national TV debut. So I thought Excalibur did well as a commentator, Matt.
I did. I really enjoyed the commentary team for the night.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I that's why I didn't ask you, Scott. When you go
Dalton
back,
Castle was very over, though. I will say that.
Yeah,
it was very over.
2 years ago, when Matt and I went to Ring of Honor, a Supercard of Honor in Dallas, Castle's line was the biggest, and this is, year and a half before he became champion ever. I don't think he had even won any gold yet in Ring of Honor, and his line was still the biggest. It's insane. He's got a little something to him that people love. Over budget Battle Royale. The winner gets to face Jay Lethal for the Ring of Honor Championship. Later on in the evening, the competitors included Jordan Grace, Moose, Rocky Romero, Colt Cabana, Hurricane Helms, Bully Ray, Ethan Page, Tommy Dreamer, Brian Cage, Billy Gunn, Jimmy Jacobs, Chuck Taylor, Trent Beretta, Marco Stunt, Austin Gunn, Billy Gunn's son, Brandon Cutler, Punishment Martinez, and some more people there.
No Chico? Come on.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're getting there. We're getting there. Outside of Chico, Scott, who impressed you in this Battle Royal?
Well, let me just say, I didn't know. I had no idea what to expect this Battle Royal. That was the greatest Battle Royal I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, man.
That was the most fun I've ever had in a Battle Royal ever. Everything about it was perfect. I laughed. I enjoyed with the moves that were put on. Impressed me the most out of everyone in there. Jordan Grace looked fantastic.
Yeah. She was kicking some ass.
She rocked. I mean, she took a buckle bomb. She did her press. Everything was impressive.
And she was doing that shit on Brian Cage.
Yes. Which I give Brian Cage credit for taking it. That was awesome. Matt and I have a friend in Marco Stunt now.
Oh my God, that dude! I did not know who that. Oh my God, that guy! Wow. Matt and I have a friend in him.
That guy retweeted like our entire conversation about him the night he got announced for All In.
Oh no!
So
I give that dude credit. He pulled off the same move he pulled at Janela's. It looked great, but that dude took some massive bumps. When Bully Ray threw him around, it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Oh my God!
I did not know
he got lit up.
Oh my God!
Props to that dude, and like, dude, he was. I don't know how many people in that crowd knew who he was. I did not know who he was.
No one. No one.
And he won that crowd over, didn't he? Like, they were upset when he got eliminated.
Dude, when he did the floss, I know my kid went crazy. Everyone was going crazy when he started doing the floss in the ring. He knew how to pull the crowd at him right away.
God, that dude is so small. Holy, he makes Spike Dudley look like a heavyweight.
I had no clue who Austin Gunn was. I didn't know Billy Gunn even had a kid. I didn't.
Yeah.
He was the only one in there. I really had no clue who he was. I'm like, who in the world? I knew he was announced, but he looked like Billy Gunn.
Yeah,
just a little stockier.
He was wearing the same tights, and I had to look it up too. I had no idea what was going on there. Jimmy Jacobs looked like a prom date gone wrong.
The zombie princess.
Yeah. Of course, the match started out with Bully Ray putting Chico through the table, but as Matt and I have said on the show for the last 2 or 3 weeks, we expected that was Flip Gordon's way to get All In. And, well, yeah.
They definitely teased that in BTE when Chico was saying his cousin.
Yeah, his family.
Can you get your cousin in? Yeah, the whole family conversation. They definitely teased that. So that was not shocking.
They normally go for $500, but could you pay him maybe $25?
Yeah.
Cody. So the final four was Cabana, Billy Gunn.
Way over.
Yeah, of course. Bully Ray, Cage. The final five were Cabana, Gunn, Bully Ray, Cage, and Grace. That was when Grace and Cage had some great going back and forth there. But in the end, it was Cabana and Bully Ray. Cabana used a chair, but Ray tossed him over the top. Bully Ray thought he won, but here comes Chico. But before he tosses Bully over, he takes off the mask. It's Flip Gordon. Scott.
Largest pop of the night.
Was it? Oh, man.
It was louder than when Cody, well, jumping way ahead, but it was louder than when Cody later on.
It was the loudest
pop of the night.
I think the internet popped too.
Yes, it was, and a lot of us knew, but when he took the mask off, like the chance of Flip, it was just insane. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And rewinding a little bit in that match, this is the first time I've seen Punishment Martinez in person.
Oh, okay.
The Roman Reigns chance he got all made sense.
Oh yeah.
That dude is Roman Reigns, small or tall, I guess you could say.
We've talked about him on the show quite a bit because we do cover Ring of Honor, and I was not impressed with him at first, but he's winning me over. He's had some he's had some great matches in 2018, so he's definitely won me over.
And I don't know if this was aired, but they definitely teased Trent Beretta and Rocky Romero breaking up.
Or you mean Chucky T and Trent Beretta?
No, they teased. Well, Rocky Romero and Trent Beretta argued up the entire ramp.
Oh. I thought you were talking.
Yeah, they didn't air any of that. The only entrance we saw on TV was Bully Ray's coming out from the crowd.
Yeah.
And it's funny, if you listen to Busted Open Radio, Bully Ray said the original plan for him to come out is they were going to play Cult of Personality. And he was going to come out.
That would have been the best
they
asshole.
They said the only reason they didn't do it is because they couldn't get the rights. They couldn't get the rights to the music in time.
That would have been
that was the original plan.
That would have been the greatest asshole moment. That would have been the greatest asshole moment in pro wrestling history, man.
Yup.
What would have been great is if they would have got everyone in the ring first, and they did that, and had the camera panning on Colt Cabana.
Oh God!
And had him turn like, what the, and then I'm almost disappointed he told Dad to know that. That seems like a total miss.
That would have been so fucking, because I mean, of all the people to have that heat on him, Bully Ray had been the perfect guy to do it too.
It would have been amazing.
Oh my God, that is fucking awesome. Flip Gordon, he's all in. He's got a shirt that said "All Out" and edited with "N" now. That was pretty great. So Flip Gordon taking on Jay Lethal later on in the evening. That was 0 Hour. The main card now kicks off with MJF. Matt and I are familiar with this guy from Pro Wrestling Fusion. And Matt Cross, also Matt Cross, a great veteran. If you watch Lucha Underground, he is son of Havoc. I thought this was a very entertaining opener. I think it was a great way to open the main card, Scott, just because you got a veteran in Cross, you got an up and comer in MJF, and it showcased them both pretty good in my opinion.
It did. MJF got heat right away. He knew how to play the crowd. A lot of people had no idea who he was because the match wasn't announced until right.
Yeah, that was the only match on the main card that wasn't announced.
Yeah, and then the one disappointing thing, I guess it's more from being at WWE events, there was only one screen. And when I was sitting, the left side of the stage they had set up, you couldn't see the one side of the screen. So we could all see it was Matt Cross. We couldn't see who he was wrestling until MJF came out. It was a good match. They're both, Matt's a veteran. I've seen him wrestle in Cleveland at AIW. Mm-hmm. He's fantastic. I've seen him on Lucha. And MJF, he's young. He's up and coming. It was a good match. It was a good cool-down type match that still was good.
Yeah.
Because they needed... the card was so loaded, you couldn't just start off with the next match. So you needed to cool it down a little bit to start the whole show off, I felt. And it was a good way to start the match. Yeah,
with Major League Wrestling having a TV show now, I've been watching a little bit of that lately. And MJF really reminds me kind of a cross between EC3 and The Miz. I think he's got a kind of a hybrid heel persona there that's kind of working. And I think dude's only 23, I think. So,
he's real young, yeah.
Yeah, I think the future's is going to be bright for MJF. Matt, what did you think of the opening contest?
Yeah, I thought it was a solid opener. As I said, we weren't expecting this match. I remembered, actually, I totally forgot MJF was even announced to be an all-in until I saw him. I remember him getting in because he got that golden ticket tag match against Flippin' Brandy with him and Madison Rain. And I completely forgot about it. And then he wasn't announced. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, that he was. And I don't remember them ever announcing Cross. But no, I thought it was a great way to start the show. And I thought it was well done. It was, I didn't have any complaints at all.
Sean Mooney, classic WWE announcer, interviews NWA champion Nick Aldis next. Aldis putting over the fact that he's being interviewed by Mooney, and also cuts a promo that Cody's a good man, but the champion is better. And I'm guessing Matt would disagree with that.
You know how I feel about Magnus.
Yeah. That's a running joke on the show here, Scott.
I've heard it.
Matt's hate for Nick Aldis.
I won't call him Nick Aldis. He is forever known as Magnus to me.
Next up, SCU. Christopher Daniels taking on Stephen Amell. He is Amell joined with Josh Shigara, also of Arrow. SCU accompanied Daniels on the stage. Neither of the entourage stuck around for the match. It was just 1-on-1. Stephen Amell against Christopher Daniels, and your guest referee. Oh yeah, the legendary ECW champion, Jerry Lynn. Pretty cool to see him part of All In. Matt, I tell you what, man, Stephen Amell is not a professional wrestler, but holy shit, does he do a good job in the ring?
Yeah, dude. He delivered. He did way more. To me, he did way more than he had to do. If I'm him, there's no way I would have attempted the Van Terminator. He had actually said on Twitter last night that he finally, 3 days later, he finally was regained feeling in his left hip.
Yeah,
and honest to God, I believe him.
I saw that.
I've only seen 3 people in all my years of watching pro wrestling do that move, and it's RVD, Shane McMahon, and now Stephen Amell. Mm-hmm. So, he went far and beyond anything he had to do. That dude is a workhorse. He loves this business. And I think him and Daniels had a great match.
They did, and I think Daniels sold that Van Terminator well. I think he knew he had to sell just in case it didn't quite connect. It connected, but at the same time, Daniels sold the hell out of it. Scott, did you watch when Amell had his SummerSlam appearance against Stardust?
I did.
Impressive there. What did you think when you saw him live?
He was fantastic. My only disappointment, especially after seeing the last Cody video, was that he wore all black again. I was expecting more green.
Yeah.
I was not expecting him to wear all black, but just after them talking about the showbiz thing, I was not expecting him all black. But
put himself over a little bit, right?
Yeah, I thought he'd wear something more Arrow related. But I mean, I get it. He wants to, besides the Vigilante Club images, he wants to be his own person. But the match was definitely, how can I say it without making it sound like either one of them are bad, but it was definitely highly choreographed. They definitely worked on that match.
Had to. Yeah.
Those vignettes they did with Cody and working out, you can tell obviously Daniels was there and they ran this match through several times. Oh, yeah. So, which is not a bad thing.
It's his third wrestling match ever.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not expecting. I was impressed.
Two of the three
me.
are in front of 15,000 and 11,000 people. I mean,
I give the dude a lot of credit.
Yeah.
The best chant of the evening was when he went to the table and the whole crowd was chanting "Broken Arrow."
Yep, I love that. There was some smart, great chants during that show. For sure.
Yes, I can get to some of those other ones later too. But,
if I forget any of them, please bring them up.
But he impressed me, and I honestly thought Amell would win when they originally booked this match. But
I predicted it too.
It was actually smart to put Daniels over, and have them, hash out their differences at the end and shake hands and everything. It was a great match. It was well done. It was much more entertaining than I thought it would be. I thought this would be one of the worst matches in the card when it was originally announced, and it was surprisingly one of the better.
And I think Amell probably gained a lot more respect from that crowd by taking the loss than he would have taken the win.
I agree. I definitely agree. A lot of people probably thought he'd win, and because he's Stephen Amell, and because he's tight with Cody, and it was smart. It was well booked.
It was. Next up was the women's fatal four-way: Madison Rayne, Britt Baker, Chelsea Green, Tessa Blanchard. These women came to play. I thought this match was spectacular. I loved the fact that Britt Baker came out to Adam Cole's old ROH theme music because they're a couple.
He was at the arena.
Oh, was he? Cool.
Mm-hmm. He was backstage.
Chelsea Green, she's kind of evolved the Lunatic Lush gimmick into kind of a two-face gimmick. I think that's pretty cool. Madison Rayne, I mean, her pedigree speaks for herself. Tessa Blanchard, probably one of the hottest women in pro wrestling right now. Current Impact Knockouts champion. She just signed with WOW, so she's all over the place right now and on top of the world.
And Tully and Magnum TA were both being there.
That was tremendous that those two guys met her in the aisle. I thought that was really cool.
I called this match the Zack Ryder Invitational.
Woo.
Because Tanel was on commentary.
Tanel and Mandy Leone, yeah.
Chelsea Green was in the match.
She did a broski boot too.
Yes, and she did a woo woo woo, and the whole crowd did it at the same time.
That was fucking funny.
I want to find I want to go watch this. I need to go on New Japan World and watch this. I want to hear what Tanel had to say when she did the broski boo.
Oh my god! I didn't even think about that live that Tanel was on. Tennille was on commentary. Oh man!
Is it Tennille? Sorry.
Yeah.
I was supposed to know.
Oh my god! I didn't even think about that.
Yep, the Zack Ryder Open is how I called this match.
Oh, I want to go back and watch that too. Oh my god, that's funny. These women put on a hell of a show here. I thoroughly enjoyed the match. I thought maybe Chelsea'd go over, but one of the hottest women in pro wrestling right now, Tessa Blanchard, went over. What were your thoughts on the match, Matt?
I thought the match was awesome. Honestly, I think the finish came early, but based on how the rest of the card went, I think that was probably a blessing in disguise.
Probably a good call. I think it was
probably a good. Yeah, it was probably a good thing that match ended earlier than it was supposed to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought the match was really good. I thought everybody shined, and I thought it was very well done.
When I felt WWE women's wrestling has been going downhill for a while now. After it had its peak, I personally felt it's been going way downhill for several months. This, to me, brought women's wrestling back up to where it should be.
Yeah, thankfully we got the Mae Young Classic now, so that'll bring it back
that
up.
That will also help elevate it, but like the main card to baby stuff has been going downhill, but that's not here or there.
Yeah, I would say this. I would say the SmackDown side of things is a little better than the Raw side of things. But that's almost just a general statement that SmackDown is better than Raw.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But
the Raw's women's division with beyond Rousey, there's not a whole lot going on Raw right now for the women.
Yeah.
SmackDown's a much better product when it comes to women's wrestling. NXT, of course, delivers, in my opinion. And yeah, the Mae Young Classic will help. I think Evolution will be better than we're expecting it to be. I'm not thrilled with some of the matches announced so far.
Yeah.
But I do think the pay-per-view as a whole will deliver on that night, and that's all I can hope for at this point.
Yeah. Next up is for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, the 10 pounds of gold. Your champion, Nick Aldis, taking on Cody Rhodes, and the legendary Earl Hebner is your referee. Cody Rhodes does a Goldberg-esque entrance. They start in the back. He is accompanied by Tommy Dreamer, DDP, Glacier, who is...
Why was Glacier there?
Relation, I think.
He's one of
is it relation?
Cody's trainers, apparently, yeah.
Well, father-in-law, I think. Isn't
is
it?
that what it
is?
is?
No, never mind. No.
I was gonna say I don't think that's right.
No. His father,
definitely not Brandy's dad.
His father-in-law and brother-in-law were with him, and Glacier. So yeah, Glacier. I don't know. That's weird. And best
he's one of his trainers.
And best yet, Pharaoh.
Pharaoh got a loud pop.
I
bet.
Camera
pan down.
I totally enjoyed the entourages coming out with Cody, and then Nick Aldis was accompanied by Jeff Jarrett, Tim Storm, Sam Shaw, and Sean Daivari. I thought this was cool. It made it feel like, hey, it felt
like a old type boxing.
Yeah,
like it felt huge. It made it feel like a gigantic match.
And that's something that Billy Corgan's trying to do with the NWA now, make it relevant again. And I think having this defended at All In was a huge win for the NWA as well. Earl Hebner on the microphone talking instructions and saying they're fighting for the 10 pounds of gold. I mean, there's so much history there that people may not know about, and that just makes it even, that much more special when 34 years after his dad held that same belt that Cody comes out victorious. And I told Matt on DMs, and I damn near teared up at the moment. I just
you weren't alone.
Growing up watching,
a lot of that arena was crying.
Man, I grew up watching. I didn't grow up with the WWE as much. All I had with the WWE when I was growing up was maybe Superstars on Sunday. That was all I had. I never watched any pay-per-views. I didn't start watching Raw until like senior year of high school, which would have been about '98. right as the Attitude Era started. So my wrestling as a kid was NWA with Dusty and Rick and Sting and just the moment, the fact that Cody did it, holds the title that his daddy held at the event he helped create, was just it's a moment that's going to live forever in pro wrestling history. And
totally agree,
man. I just thought it was tremendous. Matt, I know you're happy. Magnus doesn't have the belt anymore.
Well, yeah, the NWA title finally means something again. The only thing I didn't like about the match is I felt the middle segment went entirely too long.
With DDP
with Cody at ringside taking seemingly 10 minutes to blade.
Yeah, he's taking a while to blade there.
So Daivari could hit the diamond cutter. So DDP could hit the diamond cutter on Daivari. Honestly, I think they would have had a lot more time with the main event if that middle part of that match would have went a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
But other than that, I loved everything about it. I wish Cody would have won with the Crossroads. And they definitely teased that finish, but they didn't give it to you.
He kind of won an old school way, though. He kind of won it an old school way.
Yeah,
I like the old school finish. I like that.
Okay, that's me nitpicking because I just want to see.
Obviously,
I just want to see Magnus get flattened.
That was the Heart Bulldog SummerSlam ending.
Yeah,
I liked it. I really liked it. It was kind of that. Oh my god, it just ended type finish. I liked it. It was cool.
At one point, the crowd is chanting "asshole" at Nick Aldis. I thanked Matt for starting that chant. I said, I think my exact words were, "Matt, did you text Scott to start an asshole chant?"
That was actually
if I thought about it, I would have.
My son learned several new swear words.
Oh no! I'm so sorry.
That was one of the "F you Aldis" chant. I don't know if that made it on the pay-per-view, but that was pretty loud.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we heard that at one point.
There was a Mickey James chant.
I did not hear that.
Yeah, there were a couple other weird chants for all this.
Dad, what are those white rubbery things coming down to the ring?
Oh, we'll get to that in a minute.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that right now. Before the match, Chicago street fight between Joey Janela and Hangman
Page, which
was
supposed to open the show.
Oh, was it?
A couple weeks ago, they said this was going to be the opener of the show.
Oh,
so I was very surprised to see the placement of this match.
Wonder what made them change it.
I don't know.
Yeah. Chicago.
I could tell you what made them change it.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that later.
Oh, okay.
I'm guessing it's Jericho.
Oh.
I'm guessing the way they had to place the matches to make sure everything would run time wise.
Oh,
because you could always run longer because he had specific time to get in.
Yep, that's probably it. Before the match, they showed the whole storyline on being the elite of Hangman Page murdering famous dick wrestler Joey Ryan, and Page is kind of dreaming off backstage, and Nick, wearing a headset as he's producing the show, wakes him up, tells him it's time to go to the ring, and Page started strangling Nick. Oh, this whole storyline with Joey Ryan and Page losing it is just fucking hilarious.
It's brilliant.
Why aren't you wearing any shoes, man? Don't you fucking ever
and he
ask
played
me
that
again.
gimmick. He played that gimmick all the StarCast too, walking around with
shoes on. Yeah, they showed that on Being the Elite. The Chicago street fight. How about that big Cracker Barrel being used at ringside? That was pretty funny.
That's marketing placement at its best.
Money. Yeah.
So I'm not going to say my son definitely did it, but he was the first person I heard yell Donkey Kong, and then it started chanting Donkey Kong.
How fucking cool was that though? They did a Donkey Kong thing with the barrel.
He believes he started the chant. I can argue with him that he didn't. And in his mind, it was the greatest moment of his life that he got a Donkey Kong chant started.
I'm gonna say it was all him. I'm gonna say he did it.
Son, you did start that. Wait, you when you rewatch it with your son, you go, son, you did start that.
You started that chant.
Upon further review, you started that chant, son. Good job. I've only started one chant ever in my life, and it was a Sheamus "You Look Stupid" chant at SmackDown taping. So I'm proud of that.
So you just told him the truth.
Well, yeah. Not my best moment, though. My best moment is yelling at AJ Styles to beat up John Cena, and he looks at me and goes, "I am, shut up." This is back when he was a heel. Paige and Hangman Page and Joey Janela, man, they a couple of guys that I don't know how many times they've wrestled before, but in terms of
Have they?
It's a good question. I don't know.
I don't think they've ever worked together before.
I absolutely love Joey Janela. I've seen him several times over the years. I love Penelope Ford as well. I love Joey Janela. I think he would be a bona fide star if he got TV time and could tone down his little gimmick a little bit. I think he could be one that could break out in WWE if he got a chance.
I can't remember who it was on Twitter. Somebody asked, it was either Jericho or Omega. I cannot remember who it was, though. And they go, who do you think should be in the WWE right now? And they said Joey Janela.
Yeah, I agree with that. I have no doubt he should be. He's awesome. I mean, he could totally be over, especially if you break Penelope with him.
How, Scott, sitting there in attendance, how was it when Janela got pulled off the ladder and Paige hit the burning hammer onto that ladder?
I mean, dude, it was a spot fest. The whole match. I mean, there was pop after pop. I mean, the biggest pops were definitely when Penelope got in there.
Oh yeah,
she blew me away.
She did a great job.
But jeez, man, just the whole thing, like, I mean, there were so many moves in that match, so many things that just like stood out. But Penelope's the stuff that stands out even more than either one of them.
I totally popped when Paige brought out the phone that he murdered Joey Ryan with.
That he should have brought it out like earlier.
Yeah.
Like he had the bag in his hand that had a big X on it. I'm like, that's the phone. We all knew it was the phone.
Yeah.
And he like pulled it out. It was weird that it sat in the bag for so long. And then she pulled out another bag. And it was the boots, and the boots started talking to him again. That was cool.
Fucking funny.
Yeah, it was. That match was a little harder to follow because they were on the ground a lot, and they were outside the ring, which I love the fact. I think, Matt, you mentioned on Twitter how much room they had outside
you only had one screen
to really work.
Yeah, you only had one screen to watch it in the arena, so I bet that was tough to catch. God, that rite of passage off the ladder through a table, though, fuck, that was a crazy...
Oh, I got a loud, holy yes.
Yeah.
You
can say, you can cuss on this fucking show. This ain't PG. This ain't PG, pal.
Well, I got a very loud chant. It was, it was good. That match got about 3 or 4 loud chants.
After the win by Hangman Page,
the penises.
A video appears on the screen, and it's the murdered Joey Ryan laying in bed, and all of a sudden his penis rises, and the crowd pops at the penis rise. And all of a sudden,
the fact that they're playing like druid music to the penises walking out.
Yes, and then an assembly. I like how Mike Johnson put this. An assembly of penises walked out. Is that what a group of penises would be? An assembly, like a flock of seagulls? An assembly of penises?
I don't know. Trying to explain to my son why they were 8 penises walking around was fun. Why are there 8 penises up there, Dad? I don't know.
Well,
they're a bunch of dicks.
Well,
we're doing this.
A famous dick wrestler is come back to life, and come spelled C-O-M-E, by the way. Yes.
Oh boy.
The group of penises, the penis druids, so to speak, came out on the stage, and it was the resurrection, or the res erection.
It was the res erection.
Yes, of Joey Ryan. And Paige looked like he saw a ghost, right?
Well, he did. He goes to Joey Ryan.
And the ghost of Joey Ryan shows up, and the penis attacks Hangman Page and lays him out. And
you got the U-porn plex on him. You got a lollipop.
Oh, Oh yeah, you got. The lollipop that went from the crotch to the mouth. Yeah.
After he'd oiled up, after he lubed himself up, and then they carried him out full on Undertaker style.
Yep, the dicks carrying him out,
and the chant was "Rest in penis."
Yes, that was another one of the great chants from the Sears Center. Rest.
There was nothing I could say at that point to my son. I just said,
"Just chant it, son. Just go ahead."
Yeah, just chant "Rest in penis."
Matt knows I'm a huge Joey Ryan fan, so I obviously was just excited at that moment. That just put a big smile on my face, and it was just spectacular, man. I loved it.
Yeah.
ROH champion Jay Lethal and Flip Gordon. It's time for the all-in match here for the gold, and before Jay was making his way to the ring, someone reached out, handed him some Macho Man glasses, and slapped him on the shoulder. Uh-oh. Those who watch Being the Elite knows what happens when you slap Jay on the shoulder. And how great was it that Black Machismo comes out to the ring with Lanny Poffo?
It was special.
That was
there's honestly no other way to describe it. But Randy was always a fan of Lethal doing the Black Machismo thing in TNA.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, then they never got to share the screen together before he passed. But for Lanny to be able to be there and for Lethal to wear the Randy's jacket to the ring for that match was it was very cool. And it was very well done, and I loved it.
There are ways to bring back legends and include legends into shows like these, and this was whoever thought of this idea. If it was Jay, if it was Cody or Matt or Nick or whoever it was that came up with that idea, man, props to you, because that was one of those true pro wrestling moments that we're going to remember and enjoy. And oh man, and then Lethal demanding that Liz get in his corner. That was pretty fucking funny too. So
I will tell you, the crowd was dead for this whole match.
Really?
Yeah, the crowd was tired. I was tired. It was the deadest, the most dead the crowd was the entire match.
It was all those dicks.
Peaks and valleys.
It was all those dicks.
I think there was just so much leading up to this, and this match.
The dick sucked all the energy out of the arena.
Oh my God.
The crowd had already got their flips chants out. He got his chant when he came out, but they'd already got all those out, and it had only been an hour and a half, later, and so much had happened. The crowd was just tired.
It does not surprise me. It was a marathon show.
Yeah.
But it was a much more enjoyable marathon show than what WWE puts on. It was a long show.
This match was great. I enjoyed the match all the way through.
It proved to anybody that was a doubter that Flip Gordon is a future ROH World Champion. I mean,
no question.
There's no doubt about it.
I think Flip has a very good future ahead of him.
I completely enjoyed the Black Machismo Brandy Rhodes thinking she's Liz and putting him on the shoulder. And, I enjoyed that.
That was great.
And everything with Black Machismo was great. And I loved how, was it Brandy that slapped him back into Jay Lethal? I can't remember who.
She slapped him back into Jay Lethal.
Yeah.
And then at the end, then Poffo slapped him back in. Yeah.
It was great. It was a great mixture of kind of comedy, and then you flip Jay back and you get yourself a championship match that Jay and Flip provided, and then the finish with coming back. It was I love the whole one thing I forgot to mention, the whole handshake thing that him and Flip did.
Oh yeah.
The Mega Powers.
Yeah, the Mega Powers.
The Mega Powers. Yeah. And then they all did. And Flip did the whole Hogan thing.
Yep.
Where he hulked up.
That was spectacular.
Well, they mixed two finishes together. They did the triple elbow drop from WrestleMania 7 with Warrior and Savage.
And Mega Powers from 5.
Then they mixed the WrestleMania 6 with like Hogan. I guess WrestleMania 5 with Hogan and Savage.
Yeah, 6 was Warrior. So yeah.
Yeah, they blended two matches together,
which is cool. I thought
it was very cool.
Yeah, I thought it was a nice little nod. So still your Ring of Honor World Champion Jay Lethal, and after the match, Bully Ray attacks both of them, lays them both out. Bully, of course, pissed that Flip got one over on him because they've been kind of at it in Ring of Honor lately. Lanny Poffo tries to defend them, but got kicked in the ding ding. And Bully pulls out a table.
Might as well say penis.
Yeah. Well, I say I say ding ding because that's what when Steve Corino was color commentary on Ring of Honor before he went to NXT, Corino would always say kicked in the ding ding. So that's kind of where that comes from.
Works for me.
And who makes the save? Once again, Colt Cabana making the save to the delight of the Chicago crowd as he takes down Bully Ray. And and then they do a Shield triple powerbomb through the table.
The way that ramp was set up, it had a long ramp and then steps coming down, it was very difficult for run-ins to look like they were on a purpose. Like Bully Ray comes running down the ramp and then stops. Gotta take his 6 steps and then runs again. And same thing with Colt. I wish they would have done like a gradual ramp or had to go all the way to the ring. It would have made it look cooler, I guess.
Yeah, and then one of the Bucks mentioned how he was afraid to do that one move because all Okada's money was still on there and made it all slippery and shit.
Yeah, that's what Matt was saying, yeah.
Next up is what I would call a dream match for the first time ever. Kenny Omega, Pentagon Jr., and I don't know, man. I would call this my match of the evening. I don't know. Would you guys agree with this?
It was definitely my match of the evening.
Yeah, if I was forced to pick one, this would probably be it.
Yeah, it's hard to pick.
It was the closest to a 5-star match of the night.
Thanks, Uncle Dave.
I think a lot of people are sleeping on how good Marty and Okada was.
Oh no, that was great too. No doubt.
That's my second favorite match of the night, but this one it was just a little above it. And it was my first time ever seeing Kenny Omega live. And
he's still on my bucket list, man.
God, it was awesome seeing him live. He's like a machine in there. Like I've never seen someone who just seems to know wrestling as much as he does.
That's why he's called the best bout machine.
Yeah.
I mean, if this didn't ring dream match to you, maybe the crowd chanting "Holy shit" when the bell rang before they even did anything. Maybe that might let you know that this was important.
It was very cool, and I love that. Pentagon Jr. or whatever they called him in there. I don't know why they changed it.
Well, it's because Lucha Underground has Pentagon Jr. trademarked. So outside of Lucha, he's got to be Penta L0.
But he's called Pentagon Jr. in Impact.
I know, it's weird. I don't know.
Well, anyway, Pentagon Jr. is what I'm calling him.
Yeah, that's all. It's the same with May.
Yeah.
I don't know him well enough. I don't watch Impact. I don't know him well. I've seen him but he looked like Scorpion, and I thought that was cool. I mean,
my main thing from knowing him is from Impact. I don't watch Lucha Underground.
Yeah, I watched Lucha Underground, and I was a fan of his immediately. And you could just the crowd gets the energy from him, and he's just spectacular in the ring. So you've never seen Kenny Omega live before, Scott? What was it like seeing a V trigger with your own eyes in person?
Man, because he didn't get the first one, and then he got the second one. It was, I guess, so far, it was like watching, it was truly like watching, finally seeing your favorite wrestler wrestle in front of you. And he wasn't that far away from me because I had really good seats. And, like, I'm used to, like, a lot of WWE guys who I've really liked in the ring, and I can tell they're, like, calling out moves. Like, I've got a trained eye for it now. I don't know why over the years, but I can see when they're, like, calling out moves or getting prepared. And I swear I didn't see them call out anything this entire match. I couldn't pick out. Maybe I was just blinded by it. I had rose-colored glasses because I was enjoying the match so much, but it was just, they were just on another level. Like, both of them were just back and forth with the moves, and the crowd was into them, and everything was just, it was awesome. I mean, it's the first, like, I can say I witnessed a 5-star match in front of me the best match I've ever seen live in my eyes and me attendance.
Yeah.
Previously would have been back in the 90s. I saw at one of the SummerSlams, the Hardys, Russell, Edge, and Christian and the Dudley Boys in a ladder match.
With me, it's Sami Zayn, Nakamura, NXT.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I will have the humble brag that I was in the crowd for Taker Michaels WrestleMania 25.
Yeah, you win.
So,
you win.
just want to point that out.
But yeah, I think of all the moves that are in pro wrestling, and there are a couple of moves. I think the V trigger is one of my favorites, if not the favorite.
The V trigger is phenomenal. I loved. I was bummed he missed the first one. I'm like, he better get another one. He had the second one.
He got a ton of V triggers.
He got a few in, yeah. Has anyone still is still no one kicked out of the One-Winged Angel? Is that right? Is that accurate?
Didn't Okada
kick out of it?
Second?
Okada did not kick out.
He didn't kick out of one?
No.
So it's still.
I don't ever recall someone kicking out.
The lights go out.
Back to look.
The lights go out after Kenny Omega gets the W. The lights go out and they return and Pentagon Jr. standing up. Oh no, it ain't. It's somebody else. Chris Jericho.
It took way too long, by the way.
It did.
Yeah, they had to switch him out.
The way it was set up, it took way too long. Now me and Ethan and myself both saw Jericho run out. He was running with two different guys, and they were running full speed. And the lights went out. He came out by where Don Callis was sitting, and he ran full speed. I don't know what took so long to get into the ring, and because Pentagon went underneath.
Maybe it took a while to get Pentagon out of the ring.
Well, he went underneath. I'm guessing he rolled right out and went underneath right when the lights went out.
So here's my problem. They could have easily made this quicker by before this match happened. They turned the lights out,
put Jericho under the ring,
and put Jericho under the ring before the match even happened.
Would have been great.
I think that would have been a better way to go about it, because they definitely did waste. They wasted a good bit of time setting that up. But I mean, the setup was worth it. But we almost didn't get a finish to the main event because of it.
Yeah.
So
when the lights went out, I was fully expecting to see Tonga in the ring.
Yeah.
And beat the hell out of Jericho. That's what I was fully expecting.
Well, nobody expected Jericho because he had a concert in Kansas.
Yeah, no one thought that was going to happen. I didn't see that coming. I mean, that shot. That's the first time he's ever appeared since he joined WWE on a non-WWE show in the United States.
Yep.
I never thought he'd do it.
First time in the U.S. since '99.
I would love to know what the deal they made, because Jericho charges a fortune. What deal did they make with the Jericho Cruise, the Cody, the Bucks? What deal was made there to get Jericho to appear at All In?
Yeah, there's probably something.
You know what? I would say it's a lock. I would say it's a lock. Jericho's going to be at the Garden now.
Yeah,
very good possibility. I mean, hey, I'm sure I saw someone say, I'm sure Jericho called Vince before appearing here. No,
I don't
Jericho
think he
did not
did.
call Vince. Jericho did not call Vince and go, I'm appearing at All In.
And I think this is the one thing that made, if anything, made Stanford sit up and take notice on Saturday night. It was when Jericho showed up at this match.
I would bet my life on it that Triple H and others were sitting in a conference room watching this event. Probably Vince was there too.
Oh yeah.
I guarantee you Triple H watched the show. I don't know if he watched it live, but I guarantee he saw the show. I don't think Vince saw it. I don't think Vince saw any of it. I bet
several
Triple H is scouting.
Road agents. Yeah, they were scouting it and they watched it. I think they watched it live, and I think they watched it in Stamford. And I don't think they were too happy when Jericho appeared.
Jesus Christ! Props to Chris Jericho because he had a hit.
He's still listed on the main roster.
He's listed at
WWE.com.
Yeah.
And now he's teasing Impact because they're chanting, "We want Jericho," and he's playing into that.
I just don't think that's going to happen. I know he's good friends with Callis, but I there's a lot of good friends of Callis that I don't think will lower themselves to show up in Impact.
He's not going to Impact. He's staying independent in New Japan, doing what he wants when he wants.
Yeah. In Kansas, so probably about an hour flight. Yeah, I think he landed about 11 local time here. He's actually playing an hour down the road from me tomorrow. I'm thinking about going.
You better go.
Yeah. I should buy those tickets now. Next up, Kazuchika Okada, Marty Scurll. I'll tell you what, man. I'm sure you guys will agree, but this is the match that proves Scurll belongs in that top tier in New Japan, Ring of Honor.
I mean, I've always loved Marty.
Oh, yeah,
I think too. Marty is a fantastic wrestler. Okada is my second favorite wrestler. So got to see him live for the first time also. And seeing Okada Bucks fall from the ceiling was awesome. But
did you get to catch any?
Stinks. No, it was it was two guys dropping it with a bag, and they're all in one spot.
Like, I didn't know if it was dropping from the ceiling like the confetti or whatnot.
No, the confetti was out of like 4 different machines at the end. But the Okada Bucks, they had 2 giant bags, and they were dropping them on each side.
Of course, I
wanted an Okada Buck so bad.
The whole narrative, buy it on eBay. I did that with the Shane Bucks from WrestleMania.
Really?
I bought one of those Shane dollar bills from WrestleMania 32 off eBay for like $15.
I might have to look into that.
Oh, I'm sure they're there.
But Okada's new theme stinks. I don't like it. I like his old theme.
Well,
it might not even be a new theme. They might have not had the rights to use his New Japan track, and they had to put something else in there.
It was mostly the New Japan track, and then it went to like some circus theme in the middle of it. Then it sped back up to the New Japan theme again. It was real weird.
Didn't Omega have a different kind of theme too from his New Japan?
No, I think Omega's was
It was his theme, yeah. Oh, okay. I would say because the only new theme of the night was the Bucks' new theme, and I had already heard that. But everyone else had their normal theme.
They debuted that on Talk is Jericho, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
they did. I actually bought it already. And Marty had his remix theme, but it's still his normal theme. But yeah, everyone else had their normal themes. I don't know if this is what Okada's using now. Excuse me. I don't know if he has because he's been really goofy the last few weeks. I don't know if this is what they're using for him right now.
Yeah, they are. His character is evolving in New Japan right now, so this theme could reflect his new New Japan attitude, as it were. I mean, he came out in like old school Okada gear for this match, but I mean, since this was kind of a separate from New Japan production, I don't know if it was like in canon. What's going on in New Japan, if that makes sense.
That's what was weird about it. Like I don't know. He came out completely like Okada from a year and a half ago. Same exact entrance, same everything, except his hair is purple and he had the weird theme. But I don't know. He didn't come out with any goofy balloons or anything else he's been goofy doing in Japan. So
I think my favorite part of this match was when Okada was setting him up for the Rainmaker, and he did the 2-0-5
right into the
with his hand, and Marty grabbed the fingers, and I'm like, yes! I think that was my favorite part of the match. Fuck. I loved that match.
My favorite.
I thought the story that they told was absolutely phenomenal.
My favorite part was before the match when Arthur and the other guy got in Marty's face. I know, Arthur.
I still want to know who plays those two.
I would almost think it's got to be the Bucks, but I don't know. My guess is it's Matt and Nick.
I don't know. They've been on screen with Matt and Nick before, so
I don't know who it is.
You know what?
I'm pretty sure it's one guy.
Is it Papa?
But
it could be Cass and Daniels.
Oh.
I think
I don't think they've ever been seen with Cass and Daniels before.
Good point.
Have they?
Because they've done a lot of characters on the show, and they've never done a skit with SCU.
Who does that voice? That voice is just, I don't know. Anyway,
the 205 spot was just fucking great. I loved it. And the whole narrative was Marty had no fucking chance. I mean, if you watch Being the Elite, nobody gave him a chance. Jake Hager over there, old Jack Swagger. Yeah, you don't have a fucking chance. Even his buddies, but no chance. But Skrull proved he could hang with the heavyweights. Amazing match. And did this go overtime?
Marty says it only went over 1 minute.
Okay.
Scheduled for what it was.
Yeah.
He said the entire show went 15 minutes over, like match by match. But he said his allotted time for the match with Okada only went over a minute.
Yeah, so probably
Okada does not get 15-minute matches.
Probably the Cody.
Everyone who books Okada knows that. You're not getting a 15-minute match with Okada.
I believe Marty. Marty doesn't have any reason to lie.
No.
Yeah.
So, and I do think it was just an accumulation of everything that occurred throughout the night. And like I said, I think the women's match ending before it was supposed to was a huge blessing in disguise for this show that they could have never foreseen coming.
Yeah. Yeah, and you added the Jericho and the Cody things.
The Jericho and the Cody thing right there is probably like 5-6 minutes of like wasted time.
Yeah, and these guys probably were going to get 15, and they only ended up getting 12.
And the penis entrance took forever too.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that whole setup and thing took quite a bit of time as well.
I don't think there's anything you can blame anyone. This is their first show they've ever produced and booked and everything. It still worked. The whole night worked.
And it was very ECW-esque.
Yeah.
Of their first pay-per-view, and they barely got off the air in time. Yep. So I mean, I kind of find those similarities to be very, very cool. That was that similar, because I feel Barely Legal changed the wrestling industry.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
Just like All In, just like All In changed the industry this weekend.
Bully Ray said it himself on Twitter the day of the event. Mentioned Barely Legal.
Bully also said afterwards that this is the most fun that he, like, the wrestlers and the fans have had in unison since the first ECW One Night Stand.
And I would agree with that.
Yeah, and I think he's dead on.
One Night Stand was what, 2004?
2005 or 2006.
I think it was 5 and 6 were the two One Night Stands, I think.
That was my favorite Cena match ever, but we're getting way off topic.
That was One Night Stand 2 with RVD.
In the words of Mark Henry on this show, Scott, that's what we do.
We always derail ourselves.
So I just want to say, back with Marty Scurll and Okada.
Yeah.
I don't know why I love it so much, but that oh my God, what the hell is it called? The umbrella. God. The umbrella gimmick he does all the time. That smack against the head always sounds and looks so cool.
Yeah.
Like when he waved to Okada and then ducked and hit him right in the head, and then hit him with his own Rainmaker. That was an awesome, awesome, awesome sequence.
Yeah, and then like when he breaks the fingers, the noise he makes with that.
Yes, always
prompts the "you sick fuck" chants.
Yep.
And another cool thing into this here, Tiger Hattori was the referee for the match.
Yes, and I will tell you, the big thing I could tell in this, they knew they were overtime, and they sent another referee down, and the referee was on the side of the ring, and I don't know if you could hear it in the TV, he kept pounding the ring to get Tiger Hattori's attention, and it never worked.
Never noticed.
But he was smacking the mat, and then he would duck, and he was like ducking on the side, and he was doing it the whole match, like the whole last 10, 15 minutes of that match, and I even told Ethan and the guy next to me, I'm like, they're overtime. They're trying to get this thing wrapped up.
Yeah, they rushed the entrances of the main event. Young Bucks, Kota Ibushi, taking on Rey Mysterio, Rey Fenix, and Bandito.
Rey Mysterio also took 10 million years to get out on the stage, too.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Like, I don't know what the fuck he was doing.
He had to go poop and then put the Wolverine costume back on. Again, I mean, if you watch any 6-man tag matches with the Bucks involved, this was just amazing stuff here. And of course, you had to hit that Meltzer driver real quick, get the 1, 2, 3, and get off the air with a couple of seconds to spare.
Even with all the time limit, everyone got in their moves. No one got shortchanged.
Yeah,
everyone got all their stuff in.
I think it was executed brilliantly, just for the simple fact that they were overtime. It was probably a 15-minute match that had to get cut down to 12, and they still made it work. And I mean, the announcers got to sign off. They didn't get to say everything they wanted to say, but they got to sign off and got to say goodbye. And though it ended quickly. It's still they were able to end it, without going over.
And that's the important part.
And then if you watch Being the Elite in the middle of it, we're going to cover Being the Elite in just a little bit. But of course, amazing speech with the Bucks and Cody and Kenny Omega for about good 15 minutes after the main event was over with. What were your thoughts on A, not a single ass leaving that arena, and B, just the whole close of that show, Scott?
It was awesome. It was so cool to hear them come out and because first Rey Mysterio spoke, and Rey Mysterio just thanked everyone, thanked the Bucks for letting them be a part of the event, and then they started, Young Bucks talked, and everyone started coming out, and it was almost emotional, just hearing them all. You could see their reactions, the fact that everyone was still there, and then I got to finally hear Kenny do his gimmick at the end, and that was a cool way to close it. And they just stood there for a few minutes, took some photos, and people started leaving finally then. I think people still thought something was going to happen, and then people started leaving.
Here comes CM Punk.
The firing squad was going to hit the ring and lay everybody out.
Even after the whole, cut off and Being the Elite, people stayed for 5-6 more minutes.
They didn't want
it to end. They were
end.
still in the ring. No one did. Yeah. We were all. It was such a great crowd. My only complaints were the one screen and being in a bad position and only 2 merch stands. They could have sold so much more merch if they wanted to, and very lacking in merch. I expected more than they had, but that's whatever. It is what it is.
They'll learn for the next one.
Yes. They are going to do another one of these for sure. I'm guessing next fall.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a yearly thing.
Yeah. I think they'll choose another Labor Day weekend, and they're going to be in a different city. And
please come to Philly.
We will have.
Please, because I can drive to Philly.
This is my WrestleMania. I will be at every one of these. This is my WrestleMania. Everyone else goes to WrestleMania every year. This will be my WrestleMania. I'm going to make sure.
We talked about going. We were
going to go until StarCast left a sour taste in our mouths.
We were going to be involved with StarCast, and then we found out what we had to do to be involved with StarCast, which it rhymes with we had to pay $600. So, yeah,
they didn't tell us that when they told us they wanted us to be involved.
Yeah, so
they reached out to us. They're like, "Oh, we want you guys to be one of our featured podcasts at the event." Like, this was when the thing was just first starting.
And then out of the blue.
We were like, this is amazing. This is going to be great.
We were like, this is amazing.
And they sent us the paperwork, and we're like, yeah, we need $600. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
And then on top of that, out of the blue, Conrad Thompson follows us. We're like, oh, shit, what's going on here?
Nice.
But, yeah, so that...
that didn't work out. And the thing was, we know what StarCast is. It's all about the stars. No wrestling fan was going to StarCast to see fan podcasts. So to spend money to be there, to me, I didn't feel like it would have really exposed our brand any larger than we already have it, because people weren't there to see the homemade podcast. And I know podcasts that paid to be there. I haven't heard a damn thing about any of them. All StarCast weekend, StarCast didn't promote them at all.
Nope.
So I feel like we kind of made the right decision.
Yeah, I mean, they probably would have. We probably would have got the interview with Marco or something. So.
Look, and honestly, if StarCast was never a thing, I think we both would have been there.
Yeah.
But the StarCast thing left such a sour taste in our mouths that we just decided to skip out Chicago altogether. But man, I won't miss it. I won't miss a second one. I'll tell you that right now. I'm really hoping they go to Philly, because Philly would just be so easy for me to get to. And yeah, I wouldn't miss it.
Honestly, it'd be the perfect city to follow Chicago. To have another All In would be Philly. So, Scott, we know it's getting late for you. Thanks for joining the show. Welcome back anytime, man. We'll talk some wrestling once again soon.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, enjoyed it, man. It. Have a good one.
You guys take care.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Well, Matt, we could have just stopped the
I almost feel like we can just go. Almost feel like we can go off the air now.
Yeah, it's almost like what do we do? What do we do from here?
Because this is honestly all I wanted to talk about.
Yeah. We do have some Being the Elite. We do have some a few headlines, not many. And
we can run down the Mae Young Classic. I really don't have any desire to talk about Raw. Besides the Michaels Taker promo, like it's really the only thing worth talking about.
Yeah. So we'll fly through Raw and SmackDown, so don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Being the Elite, 47 minutes, man. How excited were you to see that when you pulled up the YouTube today?
It was a marathon.
Marty, the Bucks, Cody, Hangman, sitting in the seats at the Sears Center, kind of just pondering about what's to come. I think it was a pretty cool kind of behind the scenes thing, and the whole thing was just, I thought the whole episode was great, Matt. It showed a lot of the stuff we didn't have to pay $600 to go see. Like, I thought the TGI Fridays little party, like the dinner with the Bucks and Marty, I thought that was cool. And those guys kind of coming to StarCast and just the karaoke party. I just thought, it was... It was kind of a great thing to just see all those behind the scenes things, and that's one of the great things about Being the Lead is kind of seeing these guys behind the scenes.
Oh, absolutely. Getting a behind the scenes look at the show and how it was done, I thought that was very cool.
Then about 10 minutes into the episode, we flash to Joey Ryan getting hard. He's being found by...
I could go without ever having to see that again.
He was found by his hot-ass wife, and it shows him trying to rehab to become the famous Dick wrestler we all know and love. I thought that was hilarious, the rehab scenes. And then, of course, talking about how he had to be in disguise because he walked by SCU at Universal Studios one time. Was that Joey Ryan? Hangman Page dancing with what's that dude's name? The Fat Man.
Fat Ass Massa.
Fat Ass Massa. Him and shoeless Hangman Page dancing with Fat Ass Massa at the karaoke concert. That was kind of funny. They showed the TGI Fridays, which was one of the main sponsors of the show. There was a big party where people basically, you got to meet and greet with the Bucks, but you also got to eat with the Bucks, and they'd come to the table, say hi. I thought that was a really cool event there, Matt. I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, that was added. The TGI Fridays meet and greet with the Bucks and Marty was added very late in the game.
Probably the greatest moment in pro wrestling history. Fat Man Massa meets Dave Meltzer.
God.
Yeah, I'm joking. A lot of behind the scenes stuff as they prepare All In for to get ready for Saturday. Some really cool stuff there that you definitely should check out. On top of that, they showed off the All In belts that I don't know who gave those to. Did you ever hear who gave those All In belts?
Bill Apter presented that to the Bucks and Cody at the All In weigh-in press conference.
Very cool. And then just a whole bunch more of them getting ready. The fact that they have to do a lot of things themselves, like buy 85 cases of water at Target. Holy shit. That was a lot of water. Stephen Amell and the Hurricane Matt. I thought that was funny. I didn't know
it was something.
I didn't know he could fly like that. But those all in titles though, man, I was impressed. And then they showed us, kind of the gorilla position of while All In was going on the air. I thought that was really cool. Kind of neat to see that. Asking them to cut to different cameras and stuff. And congratulating Flip for being all in. And I thought it was really cool to kind of give us those things during the show too, Matt.
No. As I said, I liked the behind-the-scenes look of all this stuff. It was very well done.
And they showed the stage. They showed the stage of when they entered at first, and then when they made their entrance with Kota Ibushi for the main event, and then everything that was not shown on the pay-per-view was also shown on Being the Elite. And after that was done, some words from Nick and Matt at the top of the ramp after everybody left the building. Just an overall a nice cap on All In with some nice piano work. Was that Papa Buck on the piano? He's the one that plays piano, isn't he?
I have no idea.
I think that's Papa Buck that plays the piano.
I know he does guitar. I don't know if he does piano.
Then we thought that was the end of the episode of Being the Elite, but no. We cut to Cody Rhodes drinking some champagne in the hotel, and Kenny Omega with a great T-shirt with a bunch of Super Nintendo cartridges on it. I fucking love that shirt. It looks like Kenny is trying to make amends with Cody, but he was actually all along just talking to Pharaoh. I thought that was interesting. And, of course, then Brandy shows up, and he wants to patch things with Brandy and say they're best friends. But, oh, wait, Brandy's best friend Flip was in the bathroom, and he's not too happy. So what's this gonna? What do you think this is gonna go with Flip and Kenny, huh?
I don't know. I think it was just a funny ha way to end the show. I don't really read too much into any of that.
But for to see all of the behind the scenes of Being the Elite, and if you haven't had the chance to watch the 15 minutes after it went off the air, go watch this week's episode of Being the Elite for sure. As we mentioned, it got 196,000 viewers on WGN America for the 0 Hour show, which ranked 85th out of all 150 cable broadcasts for the evening, considering that's 5 p.m. Central, not even prime time yet. Pretty damn good. Live attendance for the show was 11,263. You can watch the replays on Fight TV, Honor Club, and I assume New Japan World also.
Yep.
So... highspots.com. You can get a whole bunch of All In collectibles, the signed poster with Cody and the Bucks, the trading cards. Looks like there's a painting, a Schamberger painting of Okada. Have you seen that one yet?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty badass. All sorts of great stuff on highspots.com. Memorabilia from the event. So make sure you go check that out if you're interested. Speaking of ratings, Raw's rating stayed about the same this week, 2.873 million. A little better hour 3, not as bad of a drop off. No SmackDown rating because of the holidays, so that is incoming later. Guys such as The Rock congratulated Cody Rhodes for winning the NWA Heavyweight Championship. Congrats, my friend. So effing cool. That's some real legacy and history that you're now a part of. Proud of you. Your pops is looking down and smiling big. And Goldust, his brother, with a great video talking about it on Twitter as well. CM Punk, he was in Chicago. He had a big signing. Was it at the Pro Wrestling Tees where he had that signing? Is that right?
Yeah, Pro Wrestling Tees.
He commented on Twitter about the autograph signing. I don't have words to properly express how thankful I am to have seen, spent a small amount of time with, and listened to some moving stories from some great people today. Appreciate you all. Thanks for the smiles. So some great words from CM Punk there. Oh my God, if Bully Ray would have came out to that. Oh,
that was the plan.
Oh,
yep. They wanted to play the first few lines of the song and then have Bully step out.
Oh.
And shut it off to just get the crowd reaction, like the Ciampa type reaction without the music.
Oh.
That was the plan.
That would have been so epic. Oh my God. Bobby Roode was a recent guest on Lillian Garcia's Chasing Glory podcast on why he left TNA. He said, I was reaching that 40-year-old mark and thinking, I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can go out there, sit at home 6 to 8 weeks, and have come to work, expect me to work 8 days in a row, twice a day in the studio in front of 200 people and really give it my all. For me, just the passion was starting to go away, and my mind was thinking, like, if I don't leave my house, I don't want to do what I love for the last 17 years. So I had to really rethink what I wanted to do here. And was speaking with Triple H for the first time and being invited to NXT. He said he asked Bobby, hey, what do you want to do here? And he says, you're going to be 40 years old. I know you've had a long career. Do you want to come down to be a coach? What are you looking to do? And he says, I'm going to be honest. I don't want to coach. Eventually, I'd love to, but the schedule I've had the last 3 years has been really light. I feel like I got a lot left in the tank and love the opportunity. That's all I want is an opportunity. And Triple H said, okay, cool. We'll give you an opportunity. We'll give you a shot, see where it goes here. And, well, main roster aside, Matt, NXT was pretty damn good with Bobby Roode, wasn't it?
He was booked perfectly in NXT, and we're still waiting to see what they're going to do with him on the main roster. But yeah,
what do you think of this
Chad Gable? I don't even want to get into
thing?
that tonight.
Yeah,
because honestly, I feel good about All In. I know we're going to start talking about the WWE product, and I'm going to get annoyed before the show's over, and just honestly, I just want to breeze through the WWE related stuff as quickly as possible because I don't feel like getting agitated tonight. All In was an amazing show, and it made me happy, and it made me happy talking about it and reliving it with you guys. And I know I'm going to get annoyed talking about the WWE shit tonight. So
well, at least that's at the tail end of the show.
This just hasn't been a good week it wasn't a good week for the product.
It's been announced that Tony Storm was injured last weekend and is going to be off joint shows with Progress Wrestling and WXW over the weekend, waiting a further examination to determine the seriousness of the injury. Matt, have you heard any more on Tony Storm?
According to Meltzer, it's a spinal injury, but apparently it's deemed to not be that serious. Okay. But they're keeping her out of the ring as a precaution right now, so hopefully she'll be good to go for Evolution.
75 WWE superstars revealed for WWE 2K19. Good list, Matt. Anybody glaring left off there? What do you think?
I have no comment.
Oh, okay. Congratulations to Eve Torres Gracie as she gives birth to her second child recently. Kevin Owens was recently on CBS Local Sports and was asked what he would who he'd like to work with at WrestleMania if he could do his own storyline, and he said that he would love to face his real life best friend Finn Balor. He says, "I would do would lead me to what I would do is it would lead me to me and Balor at WrestleMania next year because he and I came to the WWE at the exact same time. We didn't know each other before we got there. We became pretty close pretty quickly, and when we were at the Performance Center. He's been my best friend ever since, and I'd love to share the ring with him on that stage at WrestleMania. I would love to see KO and Balor at WrestleMania."
Yeah.
Kane's first day on the job, and he had to put together an office chair, poor guy. I wonder if he set it on fire. WWE has applied a trademark called Workhorse Open Challenge. Wasn't that just something that was said out of Roman Reigns' mouth or something recently, and now they're trademarking it?
I have no idea.
I swear either him or Rollins said it recently. I don't know. Aiden English has a new YouTube channel focusing on whiskey and bourbon called Wrestling with Whiskey. I have not watched it yet, but I love myself a good whiskey, a good bourbon, a good scotch. So I definitely will check out, see what Aiden English has to say. Wrestling with Whiskey now on YouTube. Daniel Bryan took to Twitter after All In, actually before All In was set to start, and what he had to say was, what Cody Rhodes, Matt, and Nick Jackson have done to create a groundswell in the wrestling community is both incredible and inspiring. Not only is it great for fans, but also for wrestlers and the industry as a whole. Congratulations on what will be an amazing event. Will Bryan Danielson be at All In too, Matt?
No.
think he's staying with the WWE.
He's clearly signed a new deal. It's past when the deal expired.
Mm.
And I guarantee you it was a multi-year deal. He's not going anywhere.
Former WWE producer Joey Mercury was arrested. He was in Chicago to work as a producer for the All In pay-per-view. And he was sleeping in his car outside the hotel and discovered he had an outstanding warrant. So, yikes.
Yeah.
Did he get out in time for All In or no?
Not from my understanding.
Wow. Yikes. This is funny. Big Cass was on Heated Conversations with Booker T recently and said, hey, WWE was right to fire me. And you're going to get no fight from Matt there.
Nope.
Here's something cool. Velveteen Dream headed to Evolve this weekend. He's going to be starring at Evolve events in Joppa, Maryland on the Friday the 7th. Of course, this is where Dream broke into the business with Leo Rush. He's going to take on Austin Theory, and also he's going to be in Queens, New York on Saturday for their show. He'll take on Darby Allin. So that's pretty damn cool that Dream's working those matches.
Yeah, I kind of want to go Friday. Don't know if I'm going to or not, but I might be there.
If you do, let us know how it goes next week on the show. Dream changed his name on Twitter to Indie Dream, so I thought that was kind of funny. New match has been announced for Evolution's pay-per-view on October 28th. It's going to be the Hall of Famer Lita taking on Mickie James. That'll add to the card of Alexa Bliss and Trish Stratus, the finals of the Mae Young Classic, and much more after that. So you weren't quite excited at this announcement, or were you, Matt?
Not particularly. Honestly, I don't like the card at all so far. I don't want to see Bliss versus Trish. I don't want to see Lita against Mickie James. The only thing I'm looking forward to right now is the finals of the Mae Young Classic.
WWE is making a nice habit of that, making us not excited for shows, and then.
Look, I still hope the show delivers. I want the show to be successful. I want it to do well. But I am not at all hyped by the matches they've announced so far. Like, not even a little bit.
Did you? This would have been yesterday on Pro Wrestling and on PW Insider. Did you see Mike Johnson's article on how it's overdue that the ROH needs a Hall of Fame?
I think I remember seeing the headline, but I didn't read it.
Yeah, he believes the company is 16 years old now, and it's time to have a Hall of Fame. He had listed some people, no particular order, that should be inducted. The Briscoes, no doubt. Low Key, Christopher Daniels and Allison Danger, Larry Sweeney, Homicide, CM Punk, Doug Gentry, The Hit Squad, Paul London, and Trent Acid were the people that he had mentioned there. Go to pwinsider.com to check out that article from yesterday. Also yesterday, WWE announced they were bringing back the Mixed Match Challenge, something both Matt and I enjoyed during its first run. It's going to return starting on September 18th with the SmackDown taping in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The second season will feature the reigning champions, Miz and Asuka, the husband-wife combos of Rusev and Lana, Jimmy Uso and Naomi. Team Little Big is back with Strowman and Bliss. Bobby Lashley teams with Sasha Banks. Finn Balor teams with Bayley. The ever hilariously growing couple of R-Truth and Carmella on SmackDown Live. They're a pair. Jinder Mahal, Alicia Fox, they're going to be there to take the pin. AJ Styles and Charlotte Flair, Kevin Owens and Natalya. What pairings there do you like there, Matt?
I really wasn't blown away by any of the pairings this year. A lot from the last one, and a couple new ones. I don't know. I'm sure I'll enjoy it once it gets here. But the team's announcements didn't do anything to get me excited that it was back.
And I'm wondering after what happened on Monday Night Raw, I'm wondering if we are finally, if WWE's finally starting to turn Elias babyface, because the whole thing with Alexa Bliss now, he's kind of flirting with her. I wonder if that's kind of a setup for the mixed match challenge down the road, where Alexa and Braun had like a love little thing going on that was hilarious. And I wonder if Elias is going to be involved in that triangle. I wonder if that's where they're going to make him turn him face finally. Just a thought, a random thought that popped in my head during that segment on Raw this week.
Yeah, I didn't get any of that.
Dave Bautista says he isn't worried about being fired for criticizing Disney, and says he'll go back to wrestling in backyards if he needs to make money. This whole Disney thing, man.
Oh, you don't want to get me started on that rant.
Nope.
You really, really don't.
Action figures Elite 62 from Ringside Collectibles. Elite 62 is being released with Dude Love, Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns, Authors of Pain, Classic Surfer Sting, and also some battle packs, including Jason Jordan, Kurt Angle, The Miz Taraj, Roman Reigns, and John Cena. Unlike last year, the WWE is not going to be live for the holidays. Little Caesars Arena in Detroit is currently advertising a special Friday, December 28th taping of Monday Night Raw that would air on New Year's Eve. So it appears
good.
Yeah, that'll be on. Yeah, I mean, come on, let the guys have, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
WWE Network News reported out that WWE sent out a new survey revealing some concepts that could be shows in the future. A lot of interesting things, including history of FCW, which is I would love to see the FCW library on the network, which it's coming. I highly believe it's coming. It's just a history of a matter of if and when, or when basically now at this point. Documentaries specifically focused on guys like The Undertaker, Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, and Shawn Michaels. Xavier Woods' Arcade Challenge, I think that'd be fun. Kind of a takeoff, up, down, down. Fashion Police, Unsolved Mysteries, obviously getting those guys their own show. House Hardy, a Halloween special. Go inside the wonderful world of the Hardy family in this delightful short-form scripted sitcom, which will be wonderful. Lots of interesting stuff there as well. So, and also a live show in the mornings, WWE Live, featuring the hottest topics in the WWE universe. And hey, if you want to throw some cash our way, Matt and I will host that for you. Or not.
I am most certainly not interested.
Oh, come on. They throw some cash at you. Come on.
I'm not interested in towing their company line. I'm just not. No. There's no amount of money that they could pay me to sit there and say that their product's great when it's not. So, no thank you.
Mae Young Classic Night 1 kicked off on the WWE Network after NXT this evening, and it was a great Night 1, I think, Matt.
No, absolutely, it was a great. Yeah, it was a very strong start to the tournament.
Tegan Nox getting her second chance with the Mae Young Classic. Of course, tore her ACL before the first Mae Young Classic last year. Took on the luchadora Zatara, and of course, Nox hitting the shiniest of wizards for the 3 count there. I'm really impressed with Tegan Nox. Glad she's back and healthy again. So I'm expecting her to go deep in this tournament. Rhea Ripley, another girl I was impressed with last year. I love her new persona, Matt. I think she's just badass, is what I say.
Yeah, I'm not loving the new persona, but to each their own.
I'm digging it. She took on the effervescent MJ Jenkins, the energetic MJ Jenkins, in a very competitive match there. I think the two women worked well together, going back and forth. Rhea Ripley with the win after a sit-out pump handle powerbomb. Next up, Lacey Lane one of the disciples from the Dudley Boys' school, takes on the impressive Vanessa Craven. This girl's there's a reason why her nickname's Mountain. This was probably...
That's a big girl.
Man, she is imposing, and I thought that this was probably my favorite match of the evening. I don't know about you, Matt, but I think Lacey Lane, Vanessa Craven was my favorite match. Lane just impressed the hell out of me with her energy, the ability to get the crowd behind her. I really like Craven just because it's a unique look. They worked really well together, the big little combination there. What were your thoughts there?
Yeah, I thought it was a good match. I don't know if I go as far as to say it was my favorite, but I enjoyed it.
Then we got Miko Satomura, who we mentioned wrestled in WCW on Nitro 16 years ago when she was just getting started in the business. Took on Killer Kelly. And what did you think of the last match of the evening, Matt?
This might have been my favorite match. This was hard-hitting as hell.
Yes, it was.
And I thought both women brought it, big time, and I thought it was a great way to close out the show.
Yeah, I didn't know if Satomura would win this one, but obviously the history on her side and everything, and I mean, I'm looking forward to the next round, man. She's going to face either Ashley Rain or Mercedes Martinez. That's going to be another good match, isn't it?
Oh, for sure.
So, night one's in the books. Once again, Tegan Knox, Rhea Ripley, Lacey Lane, and Miko Satomura all advance into the next round. And another round of 4 matches comes at you next week here. NXT this week, Cassius Ohno takes on Kona Reeves, and Matt put it on, I can't remember what you said on Twitter, but it was basically something to the effect of knock Reeves the fuck out.
Yeah, I wanted to see Ohno break his face.
After Ohno broke his face, he talked about how he's been an afterthought ever since he come back to NXT, and he gets it. There's always somebody new and fresh that puts me on the back burner. So whoever this next guy with buzz is, Ohno ain't going anywhere. He's going to be right here. And who's that guy with buzz, Matt? Who's that fresh new face with buzz?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're getting a feud with him and Riddle.
Bro. Cutler and Blake from the Forgotten Sons took on Street Profits. What were your thoughts seeing the Forgotten Sons for the first time in NXT on television?
They've been working really hard to get to television, so honestly, I was just happy they finally got there.
I like this. I think this group's got something, and oh man, poor Cutler he got his nose busted open pretty damn good too.
Welcome to the main NXT roster.
Yeah. Jackson Riker was just kind of at ringside, so he'll probably be maybe the singles guy in the group, while Cutler and Blake are in the tag division. And I liked what I saw. I'm excited to see where this trio goes from here. I think it's going to be. I think this trio could do things, so I'm excited. Otis Dozovich and Tucker Knight being interviewed in William Regal's office about the attacks on Aleister Black, and Otis claimed it was him. Oh, it was him. He's the one that broke the toilet in the Performance Center. Oh, poor Otis. But no, that's not where you're getting at. They were talking about who attacked Aleister Black. They showed last week's main event, Ricochet Pete Dunne, where Ricochet accidentally hit Pete Dunne. And, of course, that's going to lead to a champion versus champion match on NXT. Now, not title versus title, just champion versus champion, right? Title for title. Oh, it is title for title. Well,
winner take all.
I'm almost going to guarantee that has no finish to it. Kairi Sane took on Trish Adora in a non-title match. I thought it was pretty cool that Sane brought out a treasure chest with the NXT title in it. I mean, perfect for her pirate princess, right?
You want to hear a funny thing about that?
Yeah, what's up?
When they cut away from her on the ramp and they did the crowd shot?
Okay.
When she was throwing the gold into the crowd?
Yeah.
The second time she went to throw the gold into the crowd, she accidentally threw the NXT Women's Championship in the crowd with it.
Oh.
So they had to get the title back to her to finish the entrance.
Oh,
so
a little bit of editing.
Yep. Yeah, it was very well edited, and you wouldn't know it if you wouldn't have heard about the live report. But yeah, I heard from people that were there when she threw the gold out, the title went flying with it the second time.
I can imagine the crowd react like a whoops.
Yeah, so
that's awesome.
I thought that was pretty funny.
Sane with the easy win after the insane elbow. After the match, Shayna Baszler's music comes out and she knocks over the treasure chest. Fuck your treasure chest. They're fucking pirates.
Fuck your couch.
Fuck your couch too. Yes. Baszler attacked Sane, but Sane got up and had her own strikes and hit a spinning back fist and a spear that sent Baszler over to the floor. Good stuff from those women, top 2 women in NXT right now, and looking forward to the rematch whenever that may be. Tommaso Ciampa cuts a promo talking about how he's been on TV since TakeOver and doesn't have a number 1 contender. He's the last man standing. It's got to be Dream, don't you think?
What do you mean it's got to be Dream?
Number 1 contender. Next number.
I don't know, man. Nope. I don't know what they're gonna do. They'd have to completely turn him face.
Hey, Full Sail's cheering him. TakeOver crowd cheers him. It's not hard to do.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know who challenges Champ at this rate. As long as it's not Gargano, I don't care.
The fact that Dream beat Gargano.
Honestly, it should be Black.
True.
I mean, at this rate, they should just reveal that Ciampa took Black out and just let it be Black and Ciampa.
Yeah.
I know that's it's a cop out answer, for the whodunit, but honestly, it would give them an instant match to have, and that would work out fine for me.
And I mean, no surprise in the main event, Matt. No surprise, Dream Gargano delivered here. And they didn't.
No, it was a great match.
They didn't edit out the Johnny Failure at the end. There was dueling Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Failure chants. What do you think of the dueling chant? I mean, here's the thing, Matt. I mean, most of this NXT crowd is the same. A lot of the same people. So what are you thinking at this whole now 50-50 on Johnny Wrestling?
It's Velveteen's fans being vocal. Okay. Honestly, or Ciampa's fans. Each group is going to have fans, and that's just the way it is. And look, at the end of the day, Velveteen Dream introduced the Johnny Failure name to the crowd. I guess they just didn't expect it to take off like it did. So what can you do?
Yeah. Before that, Lars Sullivan was in Regal's office and said that he owed Black a visit for breaking his jaw, but it wasn't him that did it. He heard a scream in the distance. By the time he got close enough, Black was down. Saw the Undisputed Era driving away, and Regal run into the scene. So I say cross Lars off the list. You're saying not so fast, my friend, huh?
No reason. To me, there's no reason to cross him off the list.
I still think it's somebody we didn't see.
Whatever. I guarantee you it'll be somebody we saw. It might not end up being Lars, but I guarantee you it'll be somebody that we saw.
As we quickly come through Raw, what do you, are you starting to kind of like the trio now? Braun and Ziggler and Drew, kind of liking that group now?
I liked it more than I thought I would, and then they kind of ruined it at the end of the night.
Yeah.
So, because to me that just made the entire heel roster of Raw look like trash. Because you needed like 25 guys to beat up.
Take out 3, yeah.
It was just like, come on. To me, it was overkill. It was violence for the sake of violence, baby.
Oh, if you will.
To me, it was too much. If they would have just brought out maybe 3 like KO and a couple other guys with KO, and it would have been 6 or 7 people against the 3 of them. But it was the entire heel locker room from Raw. To me, I just thought it was overkill, and it's really WWE working overtime to try to get us to cheer Roman Reigns.
Yep.
They're so obsessed with getting that guy cheered that they'll go to these ridiculous extremes to hope to see it happen.
Yeah. They kind of
whatever.
Yeah, they kind of opened the Impact book of overbooking, didn't they?
Yeah.
The Bellotons returned, and poor Brie, a couple of suicide dives did not look good for her.
I really hope she never does that move again.
Yeah.
I hope Daniel told her, like, no,
yeah.
You're done. You're done doing that move. Like, seriously, Riot Squad did the best they could to try to save her on that second one near the end of the match, but she was just too far away. Like, they kind of like dove in to catch her, and it could have been a lot worse had they not have been able to do that.
Both times her feet got tripped up in the ropes too.
Yeah, she's not good at it. Look, she's not good at it. Neither is Sasha. Because Sasha almost breaks her damn neck every time she does it too.
Yep.
So I just wish there's just some moves that I just wish WWE would be like, okay, you're not doing that anymore, and that's definitely one of those moves.
Rude and Gable, weird tag team. I like that they're together because I like both guys. Maybe this is finally the catalyst for Rude to turn heel. I don't know. I still think they should have done it with Seth Rollins when he held the Intercontinental. Oh wait, he holds the Intercontinental belt. Creative, hello. But anyways, it was an odd pairing, but I like both guys. So hey, let's see where it goes. We talked earlier about Elias and Bliss kind of getting into it. I'm wondering if that kind of leads to a face turn. Quick match with Bliss and Natalya. Bliss putting Natalya in an armbar that Ronda Rousey uses to make you think, oh, she might make Rousey tap out to her own move. But no, not going to happen. Raw Tag Team Championships. The B Team was supposed to take on the Revival, but something happened on the way to the ring there. Well, even before that, huh, Matt? Your new tag team champions are Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. What are your thoughts on the title change?
That they're transitional champions to put the tag titles on Dean and Seth so that Shield can hold all the gold.
Yeah, yep. And then AOP takes it off of Dean and Seth eventually.
Look,
what's up with Drake?
Let's not count our chickens before they hatch with the push of the AOP. Let's see how long this lasts before we start talking about AOP and title contention.
What's your thoughts on Drake Maverick being their manager? They obviously, having a manager worked for them tremendously with Paul Ellering. Drake Maverick.
He's an amazing talker.
He is.
But for me, it doesn't work that he's playing a heel on Raw and a babyface GM on 205 Live. Honestly, it should be one or the other.
He's probably going to be off that role soon, don't you think?
Who are they going to put? Who are they going to put in this place?
They'll find somebody.
To me, he can't be doing both. If he's going to be doing both, he needs to be a heel on 205 Live as well,
which would be awesome.
So
that'd be cool to see too. I agree. I think his time's numbered. Days are numbered as 205 general manager, but I agree with you. If he stays,
but at the same token, you don't really want to rip him out of that role if this push gets halted.
True.
Which I would not be surprised if it does. So, it's just like if this push is going to be, if the legs are going to get cut out from it before it even begins, probably like Dana Brooks teased push on Monday. You don't want to rip him out of that role and then have nothing for him to do afterwards. Yeah. So, I'm sure Triple H is probably going to be careful about what he chooses to do with Drake on 205 Live because he doesn't want to put him in a bad situation.
Keeps it at a minimum for the time being. Yeah. Shawn Michaels, Undertaker. I mean, we said on the show that Undertaker was probably going to be there, so it wasn't a surprise to us. But still, the moment was tremendous.
Michael Cole was surely surprised.
Yeah, Michael Cole said the whole world was shocked, and I went on Twitter and said, if you listen to Lost in the Midcard, there's two guys over here that weren't. This really screamed to me that Undertaker's goading Shawn Michaels out of retirement.
Yeah, certainly what it seemed like to me.
I don't see triple threat.
A lot of people are saying WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Honest to God, it would just be so much easier to do him and Triple H against Taker and Foley in Australia.
That would be
I think it would be safer on everybody's bodies. It would actually get me interested in checking out that show. I'm sure him and Taker would do as good as they possibly could at WrestleMania, but I think that's a lot of pressure to put on Shawn in a match of that magnitude, and I guarantee you, if that's the story they're going to tell, Shawn is going to retire The Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to return. They're basically going to retire together. Taker retired Shawn, and Shawn will return the favor by retiring The Undertaker.
And almost kind of a recreation of the end of an era where the three guys are on the stage. Those two guys are going to share the stage, top of the ramp at WrestleMania at the end. I can see that happen. Dude, I love your though I don't ever see Foley getting in a ring again. I mean, because he was supposed to have a program with my boy Dean Ambrose when he got called up.
Yeah, but he's in a lot better shape now than he was then.
That's good,
and I'm sure he could do minimum work.
He doesn't have to do much.
like a hot tag or whatever, and pull out Sacco and
punches and Sacco. That's maximum.
He doesn't have to do a whole lot.
But just a thought of him and Foley, or Taker and Foley together as a tag team 20 years after Hell in a Cell, that screams interesting to me, and it would be tremendous if it was Trips and Shawn against Taker and Foley. I would absolutely love that, Matt.
It would be really cool, man. I can't imagine anybody that wouldn't, have a real nice feel of nostalgia out of that.
Yeah. I honestly think this is leading to Taker and Shawn at Mania, though.
You might be right, man. That's what a lot of people are expecting. So if that's where it goes, nobody should be shocked. But to me, it's asking a lot of both of those guys after putting on two of the best WrestleMania matches in history, to go out there and do it again almost 10 years later. To me, that's just you're asking a lot of those guys. So we'll see what happens.
HBK said he stayed retired out of the respect for The Undertaker because he lost a retirement match. He stayed retired. He never got back in the ring again, as the fans are chanting one more match. But, I mean, Shawn's been hearing that for 10, 12 years. So, but then Taker goes, is it respect or is it fear? And that's when you go, ooh, look at what we may have. So, definitely.
Looky, I got hooky.
We definitely some intrigue added to that Super Showdown. Triple H will be live on Monday Night Raw for his rebuttal of all of that coming up next week.
And as will Foley. And honestly, besides the fact that they're trying to draw a rating for Monday Night Football, like what does Foley really have any reasoning of being on Raw? Yeah. They're saying the 20th anniversary of Hell in a Cell. Like, dude, that was like 4 months ago. Why didn't you bring him in then?
Or the only thing I could ever think of is like season 2 of Holy Foley is going to announce, whoop-de-doo, but oh my God, if you're right, oh my God, that would be amazing to see him and Taker tag. So good. The Boss and Hug Connection took on Ember Moon and Dana Brooke, which was a weird pairing because, well, I guess everybody here's faces, so it's kind of weird. The main story here was Dana Brooke's fed up with Titus and Apollo, so she says, fuck you guys, I'm going home.
I don't know if she was going home as much as she was quitting Titus Worldwide.
Now, this was not a good segment, but I did get a good laugh out of Lashley meditating with Jinder Mahal. I chuckled a little bit. I wouldn't say I fell on my ass laughing, but I chuckled a little bit. We'll just leave it at that. Finn Balor was demanding to face acting general manager Baron Corbin, to finally man up and see if he could beat him. But instead, Balor got put in against Braun Strowman, and a decent 12-minute match between these guys. Finn Balor and Strowman work well together. And, of course, after the match, Ziggler and McIntyre join in to beat up Balor, and that's when the Shield came in with the police sirens because they were arrested earlier in the evening. And, well, I guess so Reigns stole a police car. What a babyface.
I just wanted Scott Steiner to show up.
Holla if you hear me. So then, of course, the entire heel locker room beats up the Shield, and we already talked about all that. SmackDown Live this week, Detroit, Michigan was the scene. Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella kick off the show, talking about Miz and Maurice cutting an empty arena promo before SmackDown. Basically kind of a game of cat and mouse between the two duos all throughout the night. Andrade Cien Almas and Zelina Vega made their entrance, and basically led to another match between Daniel and Andrade. These two work tremendously well together. This time we did get a finish with Brian hitting the knee on Almas, and Matt was happy because Almas jobbed twice in one night.
Yep.
As we'll talk about a little later. Man, that whole heel turn, man, that WWE Universe is turning on Becky Lynch, aren't they?
Yeah, no.
You could audibly hear loud Becky chants during when they showed her on the screen. I love the new Becky attitude, though. I love it. I thought it was great. But WWE needs to just realize they need to you know, I guess you could call it a double turn, so to speak, because on paper Becky Lynch is a heel. I don't know. You think the title's changing at Hell in a Cell?
I sure as fuck hope so. And they want Charlotte to get those 16 title reigns in, so she's got to lose that belt a bunch.
True. Naomi got a 1-win back against the Iconics by beating Peyton Royce. The Iconics gang up on Naomi, and the return of Asuka, who hopefully gets better booked.
I'm not holding my breath.
Me either. Samoa Joe cutting a great promo, as Joe does. He didn't think Styles was in the arena. He thought Styles at home waiting for Joe to show up at the back door. But to Joe's surprise, Styles showed up, and everybody had to break up the fight, including Paige yelling at Styles that he made a promise to her that he wouldn't do this on her show. God, love this feud. It's just so surreal. Two top TNA guys feuding over the WWE Championship, Matt. What a world! What a wonderful world we live in.
I just want a title change, and I just have a bad feeling we're not getting one.
Yeah, Styles just crossed the 300-day mark, didn't he?
Yep.
What about R-Truth?
He's a treasure.
This I truly crack up at. I chuckled at Lashley and Jinder, but R-Truth, man. He thought Maurice was Carmella, and obviously he's still trying to
Which is an incredible insult to Maurice.
True.
Like I honestly can't think of a bigger insult.
But this led to R-Truth getting in the main event against The Miz later on. And apparently Carmella's a babyface now? That kind of confused me.
I don't know. If they keep her in a manager role with R-Truth, she'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like, keep her out of the ring. Honest to God.
They showed more video packages with Orton. They showed one earlier with Jeff Hardy. One with Orton there. Triple threat. Winner gets to face the Bar next week on SmackDown Live. Usos, Sanity, Rusev Day. And the good guys, the guys we wanted to get the win, got the win. Rusev Day gets the win after the Machka kick on Eric Young. I still have no faith that they're going to beat the Bar. As in, I have no faith in creative. Am I wrong? Or
No, I don't think you're wrong. I think the Bar is going to win. I think they already clearly tipped their cap of the fact that the Bar's facing a New Day in Australia.
R-Truth and Miz, decent little main event, 7 minutes there. I thought they worked well together, and always good to see R-Truth in the main event of SmackDown Live because you don't see it often. But his comedic stuff with Ty Dillinger and Carmella is just cracking me the fuck up. I'm glad they're still rolling with that. After the match, before the match ended, Daniel Bryan's music hit as Miz was setting up a skull-crushing finale, and R-Truth won the main event of SmackDown Live, Matt. Write that down.
Why not?
And it ended with Miz and Maurice hightailing it out of there as Andrade Cien Almas and Vega came to get some more, and they got some yes locks for their trouble. So there's hence Almas jobbing twice in one night and Matt being happy about it. So average SmackDown Live for you, but better than Raw? Is that how?
I thought SmackDown was fine.
Oh, you thought it was fine?
It just didn't blow me away. That's the whole thing. I didn't think Raw was good at all. I mean, a lot of things happened, but I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't that great of a show. And I thought SmackDown was fine. It's just
because we had All In.
To me, it's just the products didn't compare for me. And that's just the way it is. And I'm sure a lot of people will, WWE fans would want to disagree with me, and that's fine. That's their right to disagree. But I don't think the stuff compared.
No,
I thought All In was a much better show. That gave the audience what they want. Comparable to WWE giving us what they think we want.
And on top of that, the pro wrestlers kind of got what they want. They got an atmosphere that was unlike anything else they'd really been in, where this is not a show run by a promotion, and it was unique. And I've seen some people say they think All In's going to happen 3 and 4 times a year. I don't know about that.
Not a chance in hell. It's going to be, if it happens again, which I think it will. I think it'll be a yearly thing. It's not going to be a multi time a year show. They'll run it into the ground by doing that.
Yeah. So now that we're done with All In, do you have any different opinions on where this group is going to go together once contracts are up?
I think they somehow stay in Ring of Honor. I don't think they're going anywhere.
Do you think it's more?
I think they'll get it done. I think Sinclair's going to open up the purse strings and help them get this done.
Do you think Omega then becomes more Ring of Honor than New Japan? Because it's going to be everybody together, so that means Omega is probably...
No, because as long as they're with ROH, they can still work New Japan. So that means they're still together with Omega. I mean, I think Omega will work Ring of Honor every now. No, I think he'll work Ring of Honor about the same amount he works it now.
Okay.
Maybe once or twice a year. I don't foresee it being anything more than that.
And you know what, Matt? That's best for business because we still get being the elite.
But of course.
Of course. That's going to do it for this edition of Lost in the Midcard. It was a great edition. I loved talking All In with Scott Burress. Follow him on the Twitter at Extreme Gamer. And it was truly a wonderful conversation. We'll have him back on the show sometime soon. Thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes and any of your favorite podcasting apps. All you got to do is search for Lost in the Midcard, hit that subscribe button. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way every Thursday. Also, select Mondays after WWE pay-per-views. You can also subscribe to us on the YouTube. Links to all of that on our Facebook page, facebook.com/LostInTheMidcard. Also on our Twitter at LITMC Podcast, where we share a lot of the great tweets from the wrestling world. I'm on the Twitter at JB Huskers. Matt is on the Twitter at Raw F Showtime. And as we wrap things up here, Matt, what are your final thoughts?
Looking forward to All In 2, baby.
All In 2. All In 2. All In 2. All right. Book me a main event on our book me a dream match.
No way. There's no way. Way too far out. I'm not doing that.
For Matt Black, this is Jeremy Bennett. Thank you for tuning in to Lost in the Midcard. We'll catch you next week.